Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me for today's Foresight presentation. As said, my name is Eli Oresh. I'm the company's CFO, the group. Today, in this presentation, I'll try to provide you a little bit brief about Foresight Autonomous Holdings and our companies in the group. So, a little bit forward-looking statements, and that is over. Okay, so just a reminder for our structure. So, Foresight Autonomous Holdings, ticker FRSX. We are a dually traded company. We trade on NASDAQ and the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange with the aim of accelerating and enhancing safety across all the entire transportation ecosystem. Our main shareholder is a company, an Israeli private company called Magna BSP. They hold a little bit over 7%. The rest is public float. And underneath the traded company, we have three segments or three companies. The first one, Foresight Automotive. Here we strive to bring stereo vision to the next generation, to the future. Underneath Foresight Automotive, we have our subsidiary in China, Foresight Changzhou. We do all our business through that local subsidiary, all fully owned. Our second company, iNet Mobile, again, a fully owned company. This company deals with cellular-based V2X, vehicle to everything, vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to pedestrian system. And lastly, Rail Vision, which we own a little bit over 15%. This is a pure financial investment that we have. They deal with vision-based systems for the railway, safety, security, and maintenance. Very interesting company. We like to call it the Mobileye for trains. They are a leading company. Also, we took them public a few months ago, and they are traded on NASDAQ under RVSN as well. So, our structure. Okay, so let's start with Foresight Automotive. Our value proposition in Foresight Automotive is 3D perception stereo systems, and it's being used for both driving assisting systems all the way through autonomous features. Okay, now we are a software and algorithms company. We do deal with hardware, but we're actually agnostic to it because we use it off the shelf. So purely software, and we will sell software licenses. It is a mature technology. Actually, our main shareholder, Magna BSP, has 2 decades of expertise in stereo vision from the military world. We took that and civilized it at the end of 2015, and now trying to do it the same in the automotive world. 75 employees, mostly R&D. We have a growing, strong IP portfolio of 10 patents in different stages, and this is who we are at a glance. Okay, I would like to share with you our lead solution offering, what we are been working for the past year or so. This is what we call the hot potato that we have in our hands today, technology-wise. We call it mono to stereo. And exactly as the name implies, what we do is we take mono cameras that everyone has on their vehicles already. Every vehicle has 6 to 8 cameras that are doing different applications, ADAS, parking assist, whatever. We take 2 mono cameras, and out of that, with the layer of software, we can create an additional layer of stereo. So, I'll run the video just for you to understand how it works, but just imagine that the vehicle is a human being that can use only one eye, right? So it's a problem. And now what we bring to the market is a very, very innovative solution of using existing one-eye cameras and creating a stereo of 2 eyes. So now we can bring this human being, this car, the ability to see with both eyes. So we bring 3D depth map. This is our main issue. And on top, we can add additional layers of detection, of course, a dense 3-point cloud. This is exactly what automakers are looking to get. And this is the way sensors and computers are talking to each other. So this is something that we have a lot of innovation here. It's very cost effective. We don't use any hardware. You have already existing hardware there. And with a very simple piece of software, we just enhance the vehicle's safety. Very interesting piece of technology. And it's not only us saying that. Okay, it's our customers as well. And we are conducting currently multiple proof of concept projects and collaborations with automakers and tier 1 suppliers. I brought just 2 for the example, the ones that we can disclose their names. So the first one that you see here is ZF. Not sure if you know, but ZF is the 3rd largest tier one automaker in the world. A German company, huge. They work with many auto manufacturers around the world. And what we've done with them, we have already completed a very successful paid proof of concept in which we have validated the ability of the mono to stereo, and we are now in negotiations to see what we can do with ZF in the next steps. Second success story is Hitachi. I'm sure that you know the name. Hitachi is a very big Japanese tier one supplier, and Hitachi is also one of the leading stereo manufacturers in the world. So Hitachi master stereo. This is what they do for living. Okay. Again, we are at the final stages here of a very wide scope proof of concept, paid of course, and it looks like a real success story. Just to mention that the target of Foresight Automotive working with this big tier ones is that we eventually want to integrate our software into the tier ones solutions, products, platforms, and of course the tier ones have a lot of customers, so when they sell, we sell a lot of licenses together with them. This is the target here. And another very interesting story is with the military vertical that we work with, because our solutions is suitable for many markets. So our partnership with Elbit Systems, Elbit, for you that don't know, is the biggest Israeli military integrator and one of the leading one in the world. It's a NASDAQ company as well, ESLT, this is the ticker, huge company, sells to all the militaries around the world. We're working with Elbit for the past 3 years, and it was a very fruitful partnership, because first this year we've achieved to take out the use of LiDAR entirely from all of Elbit's products, because bear in mind that when you're on a battlefield and you have an emitting sensor, radar, LiDAR, they emit energy, right? So it's very easy to spot, you know, the enemy can see you. So it's better to use a passive sensor. Now we use cameras. Cameras just glare to the environment, passive at all, so cannot be spotted. And this is exactly what we bring, so they replaced all LiDAR with our technology. In addition, we have a co-developed together with Elbit for the Israeli Defense Force, and I can tell you that Israeli Defense Force is one of the toughest customers out there. We have developed a platform, a solution that is suitable for many other platforms. Here you can see in the picture, this is an unmanned combat vehicle, very, you know, next generation thing, moves on its own, and you can see in the front of the vehicle there are a set of cameras, and behind those cameras, this is Foresight technology. So we are the brains behind the vehicle's eyes, if we can say that. And this amazing vehicle was showcased for the first time by Elbit and IDF in Eurosatory. This is one of the biggest defense exhibition in the world. And now Elbit is marketing this solution to their customers. So when they sell it, we will sell a license together. Now this platform can, as I said, can be suitable for several defense-related projects. It can go on a tank, it can go on a truck, it can go on autonomous vehicles, just name it. We have the solution and it's already marketed out there. So this is in a nutshell about Foresight. And I would like to move to the second company and concentrate on it and show you how we will change, or how we are changing, the road safety paradigm. What do I mean? So a little bit about iNet. This is an Israeli-based technology product company, was founded in 2018. And the company is engaged in design and development of cellular-based accident prevention solution. What we do in iNet, we actually develop a software add-on, an SDK, a software development kit, and we are going to use it to provide real-time pre-collision alerts to all road users. And this is a very interesting point, all road users. I'll touch that in a second. 5 patents in different stages, 25 employees, almost all of them are R&D and growing. So what is the big problem here? I'll try to demonstrate that using 3 very short videos. Okay, so this is a scenario we call the reckless pedestrian. Boom. This is an accident. You cannot avoid that accident because you can't see the obstacle, right? So what we do with iNet, we take the problem, which is the use of smartphone and distraction, and we convert it to the solution. How do we do that? We do it by using 2 main innovations. First, you have a lot of sensors on your car already today, many sensors, but every sensor has a designated field of view, right? It has to see an object in order to alert it. But we can't see this reckless pedestrian. So what do? We at INET, we work on the cellular infrastructure. So we don't need a line of sight. We work even beyond line of sight, beyond when he was beyond the bus. So we know his cell phone is over there. We are here. So we are aware of his device, right? So this is one innovation. Second innovation is that all sensors, what they do eventually is they alert the driver or the vehicle. But hey, there's two parties to an accident. What happens to a cyclist, a jogger, a pedestrian? Don't we want them to be aware of a potential accident? And this is exactly what we're bringing here. Because both of us, the driver and the pedestrian, have mobile phones, both of us will get the alert. Okay, this is one scenario. Second one, I'm sure you saw that. Boom, accident. Don't worry, the boy is okay. He's getting up now. Micromobility vehicles in urban environments, very dense, very hard to handle, and it's getting harder and harder. This is a growing pain. We can solve this issue. Lastly, your classic car-to-car accidents from the left, speeding up, riding on a red light, boom. Again, this is an accident that is very hard for your sensors on your car today and tomorrow to prevent, because the car came so fast. You just can't really react. By the way, for INET, out of the three scenarios, this is the very easiest one to prevent. Okay? So this is a day-to-day problems that everybody faces all the time. A little bit statistics. Today, 2022, still 1.35 million people die from road accidents. It's amazing. Out of those, about 60% are the vulnerable road users, okay? So pedestrian, motorcyclists, micromobility, they are not protected. The car is protected. We have an airbag, we have belt, okay? So, but what about all the others? They're not protected. And amazingly, every 1.5 minutes, a pedestrian dies. Why is that happening? For two reasons. One, the increased use of smartphones. And this is a growing concern, the destruction that it brings. And second, the growing micromobility usage within the urban environments. We all know that. So how does the industry cope with all those problems? We hear that they will bring in autonomous vehicles with a lot of sensors, but I just explained that there's a lot of loopholes there. So it doesn't really answer the problem. Additionally, they are telling us that vehicles are going to be connected, right? The autonomous vehicles are going to be connected, and then they can communicate with each other, which is great. That will mean that the road is going to be much safer. Amazing. How do they plan to do that? By using an additional hardware. So it's going to have an additional chipset in each vehicle. But issues, it's additional cost, it emits energy, interference between other sensors, health issues, very long penetration cycle. Think about how long it will take, decades, until all the existing vehicles will have this hardware. It will take a lot of time. It is subject to regulation, and it affects only the driver, the vehicle, and the infrastructure, but not all other road users. We can't protect them, and it's very complicated. So we at INET think that we need to alert all road users. Everybody needs to know that. We think that we need to foresee every aspect of a collision, even if it's beyond line of sight. We think that we need to utilize an existing infrastructure with a short penetration cycle, with no additional cost, easy and intuitive, and without any regulation. And this is exactly where INET comes into place. How do we do that? Okay, so basically, when the mobile phones have downloaded the application, the INET application, they will constantly transmit their location to the INET server, which is up there in the cloud. Now, this cloud will make aware in a certain radius all other phone users around them. So everybody is now aware of each other. From this point on, each mobile phone is like a mini computer, always calculating the probability of accident occurring. Here you can see a cyclist and a car coming to a junction. They don't see each other. There's a building obstructing them. So this is a beyond line of sight situation. There will be probably an accident. Now, this virtual beam, there's no beams here. We don't emit anything. This is our algorithms saying you're going in a direction and speed, And if you continue, you will probably hit another virtual beam. And when we get to 100% probability, we alert. We alert both sides, so audio, video, flashlight, vibration, whatever it takes, and it takes only one of the two parties to slow down, change his direction, and by that, avoid an accident. So very simple, but ingenious. Nobody else is doing that, okay? This is actually predicting accidents before anybody knows about them. By the way, we don't actually have to get this application on a mobile phone. What we need is actually a GPS, okay? So in our cars, we have other options. So we have the infotainment systems that have a GPS inside. We can use head-up displays. This is a feature that is coming in very rapidly. And we can use the dash cams. All of those features has GPS. So we can bring additional added value to the car manufacturers as well. Now, we have a few solutions, but it's important for you to understand the way that we work. Our go-to-market strategy is not to ask each and every one of you to download the iNet app from your app store. No, this is very expensive and it takes time. We won't get to everyone, right? So our strategy is to develop this software, additional layer of software, to go to a third-party application. For the sake of the example, let's take Google Maps. Everybody here works with Google Maps. For that matter, 2.5 billion people do, right? And let's say we go to Google Maps and tell them, do you want, please add the iNet software layer. Let's do an integration. It will take a few, 2-3 months, not a big deal. And overnight, after the application, the Google Maps application is updated, iNet is installed within, hopefully, 2.5 billion users. By doing that, Google Maps will get a safety feature that they don't have, right? We use Google Maps only for planning or navigation, whatever, but not safety. So they will have the safety feature and we will have all those users. Now, our business model is a classic freemium model in which the first solution, which we call the Protect, will be always for free. We don't want any hurdles. We want everybody to download our application and not pay anything, just for us to collect the data that we can monetize and to have the critical mass of all the users around the world using our application. Additionally, there is an additional layer of solution which we call the Protect Plus, and this is the premium level. And here, people or users that would want to get additional features that we have will be a subscriber, pay a monthly fee of $1 or $1.50, and we will share that income together with the relevant third-party application. And this is the way we will do business, and this is our business model. I won't go through the characteristics. It's very unique, just for the sake of the time. Okay, so business traction. We focus on 3 main verticals. We've talked about the third-party applications. We need an application with a GPS. That's all we need. So name it, navigation, shared mobility, Uber, Lyft, all those guys are relevant. And fitness, okay, cycling, running, all of those applications have GPS. And the user already permitted the use of the GPS within the application. So we won't mind an additional layer of safety. Why not? So this is one. The second is the micromobility. We talked about that as well. So scooters, electric bikes, name it, last mile, food delivery, all of those have GPS and need this safety features that they lack. And of course, the automotive, as we say, have all kind of options that we can offer. We, in the past 12 or 18 months, we work mainly in these geographies, Israel, Japan, Europe, and India, and we conduct multiple proof of concepts, validation tests, pilots with many customers. And lastly, I would like to share with you the latest news that we've released about 3 weeks ago. And this is actually the first substantial big commercial agreement that iNet have signed together with a very known, you don't know it, but it's a very known Israeli application called Pango. And we are going to protect 3 million users in Israel. So what are we going to do there? We have about 9 people in Israel. Out of them, around 4.8 million drivers, okay? Now, Pango is the leading, really, #1, leading parking, smart mobility, vehicle and road services application, and they will integrate our layer of software inside their application and downloaded to their 3 million users. Okay, so it is very widespread, as I said, 3 million users, and that means that we will get an outreach of over 60% of the drivers in Israel. And bear in mind, a driver is also a pedestrian at some point, right? Or a cyclist, or a jogger. So we take our phone together at all times. So this actually brings us more than the relevant or required mass or critical mass in Israel, and we can actually cover almost the entire state of Israel, at least in the center of it, where it's mostly populated. So it's a great achievement for INET. Regarding the agreement itself, so it was agreed that Pango will serve as INET's distributor in Israel, and they will lead our business development in the Israeli community. In addition, Pango will introduce us to their commercial partners. And here it's a very interesting point because this is where we target. So probably somewhere early next year, when we finalize the integration to Pango, and it will be a success, they will hopefully introduce us to their partners. Now, their partners are additional third-party applications, some of them very, very big globally. A few of them have hundreds of millions of users. So my target is to get to those hundreds of millions of users and go global. And when we do that, INET is in a different place. You're looking at a unicorn. Of course, as we said, INET and Pango will share the revenues. It's a rev share model, classic. And finally, Pango received an option to acquire a percentage of INET for a pre-money valuation of $40 million. So this is about Pango. And just to recap the highlights, so we think that we have a game-changing software and safety solutions for the automotive industry. Our proprietary solutions for real-time alerting under all weather and lighting conditions. We have a strong IP protection. We see massive growth opportunities across markets and with very high margins because we are a software company and we work and partner with blue chip names across the industry and engagement with highly attractive customers. So this is it. Thank you very much. We have 2 minutes for any questions that you might have. Thank you. I was that clear? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask a question. I know over the years you've had some proof of concept trials with various vehicle manufacturers. Could you maybe talk about what stage are you in advanced stages with any of those? How close?
Definitely. So a recap about our sales cycle. This is not this is the industry, how it works. So it's a 5-step engagement. Then you move to a proof of concept, which is a validation. We get paid for that, around $100,000 per each project. It's always paid. And there, the customer validates our technology according to his requirements. If that is successful, you move to the co-development phase, number 3. And here, it's a real dive deep into the customer's technology. And you already develop together with the customer the application that the customer plans to integrate in the future. If you're successful there, you move to the 4th step, which is the design win. That means that you already integrated or planned to be integrated into a specific vehicle, and then you work a little bit hard, but you're already there for mass production. This is the step. So we are in the co-development phase, number 3. The partnership with Elbit is exactly that. We have mutually developed a platform that can be integrated into multiple applications, for that matter, unmanned vehicle, it can be a tank or whatever. And in the automotive sector, we are in multiple proof of concept projects. And now, hopefully, soon enough, we can announce about moving on to a co-development with one of the big OEM or tier 1 manufacturers. So this is where we are. This is according to plan. And we do think that next year is going to be very, very interesting. Thank you for the question. Okay, we're just about to run out of the time, so I appreciate you coming in and listening. Thank you very much.